Hi, I'm an artist and today I want to learn pixel art my way, which means we will study the same glass of lemonade for many times, but each time the canvas will get smaller and smaller and the art will become more pixely. First, we began with 1024 by 1024 pixels canvas, and I started with selecting some colors that I thought appear a lot throughout the reference photo, and I really didn't expect this many colors were enough, but I truly didn't prepare for how not enough they were, but well, anyway, I continue with sketching out the shape of the glass cup with the single pixel brush. And if needed, I can just press M to check for the symmetry with the mirrored version. Like such a luxury that I haven't really noticed until now. Well, by the way, for this study or challenge, I used the pixel art brush that come in the Krita default brush pack. And I mostly used the biggest one for this first glass cup. So why I decided to learn pixel art this way? Like, why not just follow some kind of tutorial and starting from there? And normally with something I never had any experience with, I will 100% go with the tutorial route. But for something art, or rather drawing and painting related, I personally do have some experience regarding this medium, so I would like to figure out my own way to approach new stuff. So that's what I did in this video, and I decided to study familiar subjects in the most familiar way possible first, and that means a glass cup and the biggest reasonable canvas size for pixel art, which I kinda arbitrarily decided to be 1024, but well. Anyway, so that this first canvas will feel more like working on a quote-unquote normal paintings, like normal to my usual studies, with a hard brush and less like actual pixel art, and gradually decreasing the canvas size, so that I will, in theory, have an easier time slowly crawling my way into the pixel art realm, rather than jumping straight out into the hole and injuring myself, Like not physically. The only thing that gets injured in that scenario would only be my pride as an artist. But sometimes that thing can arguably be more important than anything else in my life. So I very would not like that scenario to happen. So that's why this learning method was born. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Anyway, even though I was saying all of that, but working on this 1024 canvas was not, in any shape or form, an easy experience, because a hard brush is indeed very hard to paint with, to me at least. By the way, for anybody who may not know, a hard brush is a brush that you couldn't adjust the opacity with how strong you press your pen. And if you have seen my painting app tryout videos, you will know a hard brush is the bane of my existence, and I did try painting with a hard brush once before for a video, but you won't see that video because that one was a failure. Yeah. So today's video was kinda a challenge within a challenge, but that's okay because from that one failure to this day, I have seen a video by Cat Ratham where they tried to recreate old masterpieces with an old program called KitPix, where opacity sensitivity did not exist. And what helps me the most is when they say, and I am paraphrasing, that for this kind of challenge, the most important thing is focusing on the shapes and making them look really good. And that's basically what saved me in today's video. So thank you so much, Kat. Even though I know you're not watching, but still, thank you so much. So next, I worked on the 256 by 256 canvas, and originally I planned on slowly working my way down the pixel count, like from 1024 to 512 and then 256. But I spent like almost 2 hours on the first one already, so I decided to skip the 512 and jump straight into the 256. And I have to tell you, this instantly felt a lot more pixel arty. Like you started to be able to see the pixel. Like, yeah, but still very impressive. But at this stage, it was still mainly all about the shape. Like doing this, I could feel the importance of blocking out good shapes right off the bat even more, And normally with my usual sharp brush, I honestly don't really care that much about how the initial shapes look like. Like I just mainly need to care about the general value and the position of the shape. So lots of the time, my studies look really bad and messy in the beginning, but I just blend all of them out later on, so I'm always kinda meh and whatever at that point. But working with hard brushes or pixel like this, I really needed to make sure that every shape I put out looked clean and pretty. So I did feel more like I was designing shapes more than I was actually painting, A rather different experience, but still quite fun. And my favorite part was these swirly shapes that kinda mimic how the liquid look. Yeah, that one was really fun to paint. And to be honest, I think breaking the study subject down into simple and clean shapes like this would be easier to follow in a tutorial than what I am usually doing, So I think I should consider this when making tutorials, yeah. Anyway, after that I jumped again to 64 by 64 pixels canvas. Here past me just wanted to zoom out to show how small 64 by 64 was. Like this was the same reference image I used throughout this video, and look how huge that was. And now it is officially like properly pixel art time. Like at this point I didn't feel like painting with a hard brush anymore. I actually be entering the true pixel art realm. And by the way, even though I was saying I like finding my own way to learn new art stuff, I was not going in totally blind. Like, it can be arrogant, but not that arrogant, And I did watch some guys, and the one I found the most helpful is the Ultimate Pixel Art tutorial by Sound Tunes. I'm really sorry for pronouncing it like that. And one of the things he said that I remember the most was the importance of one single pixel, like how just one pixel can change the whole shape of stuff. And I definitely started to feel that working on the 64 canvas. Like I had to be quite conscious of where I would place some pixels, especially the ones that defining the shape of objects, like around the edge of the lemon piece or the glass, or the shadow of the glass, like that. But overall, I think I am still quite satisfied with this level of details, and I think 64 by 64 pixel or even 128, 128 is really a good canvas size if you want to do pixel art in a more detailed or realistic style just like this one. Next, 32 by 32 canvas. And now I was really feeling how much weight one single pixel holds, and things started to feel less like painting and more like playing a puzzle game with pixel pieces. Like especially with the lemon slice. I have never thought about this, but making a round looking object is really hard when you just have a small amount of squares to work with. Now I am saying that out loud. That sounds really obvious, but I never truly understand that until this point, But to be honest, this pixel puzzle effect can totally be due to the fact that I have painted the same glass for, 4 times now. So at that point, I was quite familiar with the whole scene. I just needed to translate that knowledge and place the pixels in the right place. So that may be why this started to turn into a puzzle game for me. But hey, I still have to say that I am really proud of how much detail past me managed to put on there. Pretty good. Anyway, next. 16 by 16 pixels. Well, I was not very thrilled for this one, to be honest. And now it was not the importance, nor the weight, but the gravity of just one single pixel. And again, you can see this the most obvious when I try to make the lemon slice look right. Like not even looking pretty, just looking similar to a resemblance of a lemon slice. And this pretty much summing up the whole goal I was struggling for at this stage, just trying to make it look somewhat recognizable as the study object, the glass, and was that goal a success? Well, honestly, this one is kinda up for debate. Like, as someone who has been watching this going from 1024 pixels to here, I think it's still readable as the same glass. But if you took this one out of context and asked a total stranger if this looks like a glass of water, I am not sure about that though. Should I do a poll? Now I'm kinda curious. Oh hi, I think I have reached my limit at the 16 by 16, but just out of morbid curiosity, past me really wanted to see how the glass on an 8 by 8 canvas would look. So here we go again. And my god, 1 pixel is just so huge. And the process was not that exciting, to be honest. It was the cycle of putting some pixels down, think really long and hard, redo the pixel, redo again this time with Ctrl Z, and repeat all of that boy. And now at this point, the question still remains the same. Does this thing still look recognizable as the glass? And again, there are still some room for discussion, but the answer is really leaning toward no. Like, yeah, if you have been watching this video, you can still squint your eyes and reluctantly say, yeah, that's the same thing, but just has been heavily censored to nothingness. Like, I swear no one could ever reverse this kind of censorship, but when she's alone, like outside the context of this video, nah, I don't think anyone can tell she's supposed to be a glass of lemonade. But on a note though, should I apply for some job positions that need censoring things? Like, seems like I have quite the talent for this. Anyway, let's check out how this study turned out, shall we?